Alright guys, so today we're finally going to be talking about the Turbo Corolla and where it's been and why I really haven't done anything with it. Let's go take a look at where it is and try to get it started real quick. Alright, so this car has just been sitting over here for probably the last 2 months, collecting pine needles and all sorts of other stuff. I highly doubt it's going to start. I mean, there's literally no lights on, as well as there's water in here, so hopefully it's not soaked over there or my sunroof is leaking. But let me go get a jump starter. Let's try to jump this car. Alright, hopefully this thing has enough to jump start it. It's at 25%. She's alive and sounding really good. I haven't started this car in probably like a month and a half now. So, I mean, everything looks good. I don't know why the screen's flickering like that, but I probably have low tire pressure because it's just been sitting here for such a long time. I hope my gauge isn't broken over here. But yeah, she's alive. So let's get this car over to the driveway and we'll probably give it a quick pressure wash and get all this junk out of here and everything like that. It looks like there's some ants in this car too. Alright guys, so one of the biggest reasons I haven't driven this car was because I had no plate and it really wasn't legal to drive on the road. So after I did the transmission swap, that I never did any of that. So it kind of just sat because I was driving the Matrix. But now I'm not going to drive the Matrix and I'm going to drive this car as the daily driver, and I finally got all the paperwork for that. Alright, so it's actually the next day, and I went to go try to start the Corolla again, and the battery is not holding a charge at all. So, off to AutoZone, that way we can get this replaced. It should be under warranty. I believe it's still less than 3 years old, so let's go ahead there real quick, swap this out. Alright, so I just picked up the new warranty battery, luckily. The guy did kind of look at me a little weird because this was the second time I was returning it under warranty, but they did give it to me, so, but I really just don't drive that car enough to justify a nice battery like this. But I mean, hopefully now I'll daily drive this car and it'll be worth it and the battery won't die after sitting for 3-4 months. But now let's get this thing put back in the car and make sure everything else is working good. Oh, it's great. So I just got the new battery in. Everything looks good. We're definitely going to want to clean all this as well because there's so many pine needles and leaves all inside the crevices as well. But I also got to swap my license plate on there too. But let's start it up. I'm just gonna let it idle just to make sure the battery is charging good and everything like that while we get everything all prepped and cleaned. You know, that's one thing about having this car is it does sound really good. So started up nicely, so no jump needed, because I literally went to go jump it again this morning, and it literally had, I went to go check the voltage and it literally had no volts at all from running for like 30 minutes yesterday. So it definitely was a drained battery. You know, like when you spend so much time on one thing and it takes you forever to do it, that's kind of how this car felt to me, like doing the transmission swap, because it's just a lot of research, waiting, trial and error, and all that other good stuff. And as soon as I finished it, it took probably total like 3-4 months to get all the parts, get everything to work, and have no issues. And when I did this car, I was just kind of over it after those 3-4 months. So it really, I got it running, no issues, everything seems to be good. I only put like 10 miles on it because obviously it wasn't like road legal to be driving, so just kind of drove it around my neighborhood to make sure all the gears and everything were working. But anyways, it's just, as I was like working on this car and I finished it, I didn't even want to see it anymore. So it was just, so much just happened and I just didn't want it. And I was daily driving the XRS, the Matrix, and it was driving good. So I really had no reason to like try to like get this car registered and running good. Even though, like I said, it was running good, it wasn't registered, and I just was fed up with the car. So, but now, I mean, I've been probably away from it for 3 months now. I mean, you guys probably have noticed I haven't posted any videos of this car, so it just, I was just done with it. So, but now, like I said, one reason that kind of spiked me into it was I did have a little issue with the Matrix, and it's not like I can't drive the Matrix, but it just wouldn't allow me to park it outside. So I'll kind of discuss that too later on, but right now, let's get this car cleaned up and ready to go. And one thing too, I gotta look for, there's a bunch of ants just crawling on this car. So, and I have seen a few inside, but I'm hoping that it's not anything bad. But I gotta just clean everything out, clean the wheels out good, clean everything, get all this junk out of here. So the pressure washer should make good work of it. Alright, so I got the car pretty much hand washed and wiped down. It came out pretty good, but I can definitely tell this paint is not in the best condition, especially whatever panels they resprayed are definitely not lasting long. So, like you can tell, this antenna, which they painted the roof with this on and painted the gasket, and that's peeling. Whatever happened here is starting to peel, but I can put the in-channel visor in here, so that will help. Something else too, this whole bumper was painted and it's starting to peel here. It's just starting to peel in all sorts of random spots. And then also here, this is kind of looking iffy. This is where all the body work was when I guess the car had damaged. So, but it doesn't look terrible, but there are still ants crawling around. This whole thing is starting to peel. So definitely not in the best condition, but it's about the motor on this car that counts. So I do wish it was in better condition on the paint, and maybe someday we will fix that, but I'm just gonna clean up and get rid of some of these other spots, as well as there was a spot right here where the Matrix door ended up hitting it. So hopefully this is just paint transfer and I can get all that off. All right, so now that we got the car all cleaned up, let's make it street legal. The car is finally official. So I gotta fix my windshield wipers real quick. I gotta replace them, and then once I do that, let's take this car for a drive and make sure everything is running good. All right, so I got the car looking a little better. I did get pretty much all of this paint transfer off from the Matrix store. I gotta fill up my tires. They are like, The rear ones are actually at like 32, which are where they're supposed to be, but the front ones are at like 20 something. So, and that would explain the tire pressure light that I have. So let's fill those up real quick. Sounds like I got a slight exhaust rattle somewhere in the back. We'll worry about that another day. But let's go take this thing for a drive and make sure everything is operating as it should. Filling up my tires, got rid of that. I had to steal the shift knob from the GR Corolla. I still don't have a shift knob for this car. All these are 5 speeds that don't have any clearance for the lockout mechanism. So I'm still in the GR Corolla one. It's good to know that this fits, so that way when I do buy one, I pretty much open my options up to like unlimited, because the GR Corolla has a million different shift knobs that you can buy. But let's go take this thing for a little rip, make sure everything is good. And I totally forgot too how nice the sound system is after I upgraded all these speakers. That also sounds really good. I have to say, this car feels so weird driving it, but it feels pretty good so far. I like it. The shifter feels kind of vague, like it's not hard to shift at all. I almost wish there was a little bit of resistance. Some vibrations that I'm not used to. I don't know if it's just because of the stiffer motor mounts or not, but we'll just make sure everything is working good. So I just got back from the drive. I didn't realize that my camera actually died like a few minutes into the drive, but everything seems to be going good. I did have one little issue. I don't know if it's on camera or not, but I literally pulled up to a stoplight and the car literally just shut off. I don't know why it did that, but it didn't do it again. So I don't know if I had stalled it out or not, but literally everything just went, like the radio stayed on, but everything just went out like you did stall it, but I didn't think I let off the clutch, or I didn't feel anything. So not sure why that happened, but I started the car back up and everything drove fine. So, but yeah, I ripped it around in a few gears. Everything feels really good. I do have to say the stiffer engine mounts that I did put on this car definitely shake a lot more than I had anticipated. But I guess too, the GR Corolla has some pretty stiff one on the rear mount. So, and that definitely judders quite a bit, like leaving first gear and stuff like that. But other than that, yeah, the car is really good. I'm really excited to bring this car back and get everything going good. I do have a few other things planned for this car, so stay tuned for that. And I noticed my air fuel ratio thing, the middle digit doesn't display properly, and of course it's on one of the gauges I need to look at the most other than the boost gauge, but my AFRs, the middle digit is all messed up. But I can kind of pull it up on here, but this reads way more accurate. This is taking it out of the OBD2. This is taking it off of the actual O2 sensor that I put just for this one. So I'm going to see if I can replace just the screen maybe on that. I don't know. But with all that being, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time.